Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Here's Marchand back in with the wing to the net. Scores! What a spectacular goal for Brad Marchand. He has done it again.
Welcome to 32 Thoughts, the podcast presented by the GMC Sierra AT4X. Dom, Elliotte, Kyle back with you. Happy Father's Day, Elliotte. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to Miroslav Shramati and everybody celebrating here on this day.
Let's just say happy Father's Day to soon-to-be father Kyle. Remember what Dana said. She's carrying, so Mother's Day, she's part of the group now. So technically, I think that makes you part of the group too.
Well, the issue was, I didn't totally embrace the Mother's Day for the mother of my child-to-be last month, so I would feel very icky if I took any type of Father's Day or took in any type of Father's Day celebrating here today as we still await the arrival of our child. I can't do it.
I'm going to stay out of this debate.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the moment where I remember you don't have to weigh in on everything.
Yes. All right, we'll leave it there. You know, Elliotte, everything seemed to be pointed, or so much at least, seemed to be pointed in the Oilers' direction. The way Game 4 ended, the scene in Edmonton on Saturday as Ron and Gene were talking in the pregame, the gray and rainy day that then turned sunshine for puck drop, the whole bit, and how quickly we forget that those are the environments that the Florida Panthers absolutely thrive in. 3 straight games here now that Florida has taken it to the Oilers in the opening 20 minutes.
Yep.
No spellbinding comeback here on Saturday night, and the Panthers drag them back to Florida, 1 win away from a second consecutive Stanley Cup.
You have to remember that momentum doesn't seem to matter from game to game here. And sometimes I think we do get caught up on what happens in the most recent game. This was a clinic, though, by the Panthers. We've joked about sequels in the past, Kyle.
Yep.
This is now a trilogy. This is now the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King. And by that, I'm referring to Game 5 at Toronto, Game 7 at Toronto, Game 5 at Edmonton, where the Panthers have gone on the road into a city where the teams had every reason to feel great about themselves. The home teams had to feel they had the momentum. And as one Oiler fan said to me during the game, they wrapped the anaconda around us. They simply choked the life out of our offense, sucked the life out of the building, and smothered Edmonton. This was a clinic from beginning to end. And one thing that really reminded me of especially Game 7 against Toronto is that when McDavid finally got himself going here with a goal and cut it to 3-1, Florida scored 46 seconds later. Reinhart.
Mm-hmm.
In Game 7 against Toronto, they were up 3-0. Max Domi scored, and Luosterainen scored 47 seconds later. This is one of the most raucous home ice advantages in the NHL. It is a great fan base and building to play in front of. Almost from the beginning, they were taken out of the game tonight, and they'll be showing this one at coaching clinics how to play on the road, along with the other two.
So one of the more interesting things that came out of the panel discussion for me on Saturday, Elliotte, was face-off ready. when Kevin
Yes.
BX had told that story, and of course alluding to what was the first Brad Marchand goal to open the scoring on Saturday, and you saw it again. Craig Simpson referenced it on the second goal that he had in game number 5. So 2 goals, 5 now in the final. I mean, forget winding the clock back. I mean, this may be the best we've ever seen from him, considering the circumstances. I still think back to one of the highlights of this season, and maybe of the last long while, was sitting next to you the day of trade deadline when you had your draft post prepared, of hearing that Brad Marchand is heading to the Florida Panthers, and how that rocked the hockey world. The one move that day that nobody saw coming, that is, as time has gone on, had the biggest impact, considering where we sit now.
There's a couple things that pop into my head. Number one, if I'm the Oilers on the when we meet with, because between every game of a series, the series supervisor will talk to each team. Is there anything you want us to go over? I'm going hard at winger encroachment on the faceoffs. We were talking about it walking back from the game to our hotel afterwards. I was with Kathy Broderick, the producer, and Jen Botterill. And Jen was talking about how the officials, or the linesmen, are all over Draisaitl in the face-off circle, and Marchand is just doing whatever he wants to do. And I always go back to, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So I totally understand it. If I'm the Oilers, I am getting on the linesmen and the referees about those plays. You have to get on them to slow it down in Game 6. Even if you get 1 or 2 where faceoffs get blown dead, or someone gets kicked out of the faceoff circle, whatever you do, Kyle, you have to get that up front in the linesman's mind, because he's killing you. The second thing that comes into my head is, I watch this series and I wonder, and even the rest of these playoffs, if the Bruins, if we could go back in a time machine to the week of the deadline when Marchand met with the Bruins and said, can we meet in the middle? Which would have been about, I guess, 3 times 6.9, which probably would have been in the middle of where they were. Do you think the Bruins would go back in the time machine and sign that deal today?
Watching what's gone on since, how can you not? I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but this has been, remember too, like Four Nations, Elliotte, the way he was taking all that in, he was very much of the mind of, look, a little bit older now, far from a guarantee that he's going to be selected for Canada at the upcoming Olympics. Now it's like, how can you not envision him there with how he continues to produce, and game after game, he is a factor.
And he's going to do a lot better than 3 times 7.